Hi, I'm Dave Eyrig, and you're invited to join me out here on the rocks.
Woo! Working all week for a paycheck. By Friday, I'm ready to scream. I hate all this hustle and bustle, man. You know I really hate this scene. So I get off on the rocks. Yeah, yeah. Off on the rocks. Oh, baby, I get off on the rocks. Woo! Off on the rocks.
I'm what they call an adrenaline junkie.
If you haven't rolled it over, you haven't been having fun.
Maximum carnage.
You gotta get up there and just, feel the rocks out.
We love everything about Jeeps.
Now that's an interesting license plate.
Step way back in case any rocks fly out.
Just keep hitting it.
Is that something you do?
Oh, yeah!
I'm not butt puckered on that one. How about you?
I had more fun than a tornado in a trailer park.
You just love it here.
Hi, I'm Dave Eyrig, and you're about to meet a group we like to call the Dirty 30. Because, well, there's 30. And then, in this sport, they love getting dirty. Today, we're going to get inside the heads of several of the Dirty 30, find out what drives them to the edge. We'll also teach you a four-wheeling skill every off-roader needs to know. We'll even show you how to transform your next cookout into a banquet fit for a king. All this while we crawl up one of the most rugged, breathtaking trails in the West. Now, rough riding on these back roads wouldn't be complete without a trail boss. Meet Rick Russell, a four-wheeling legend for over 30 years. Rick, what you got for us on today's trail?
Well, Dave, I'm up here in the snow bashing and digging vehicles out of the snow, so I won't be with you today. But out there in Ocotillo Wells, you're going to run into blow sand, sandy washes, rocky climbs. Watch out for vehicle damage. It gets pretty rocky in some spots. So have fun. I'll see you on the next trail.
Today we'll be hitting the trail with two more of the Dirty 30, Wayne Ditch Witch Miller and his stepson, Captain Ray. These two express their love for each other the way all real men do.
Oh, Winch Boy! Winch Boy, where are you?
Okay, we're at Ocotillo Wells State Park with Ranger Shea. Ranger, and for those of you on the East Coast, that's Ocotillo. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we're out in the middle of nowhere. Can you tell us a little bit about what somebody might expect when they visit here?
People come out here to ride. They four-wheel drive, they ATV, motorcycle, Jeep, hike. We can have upwards of 150,000 people.
You said 150,000 people come here on a weekend?
On a busy weekend, yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, on a weekend like this, we've probably got maybe 5,000.
Where do you put the Starbucks?
Today's trail's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting for me because it's the first time after a lot of modification to my Jeep that we've had it out. So hopefully it'll stay together. But it's a lot of good rocks. Like I say, we broke these trails 4 or 5 years ago, and they actually haven't had a lot of use.
So your nickname is Captain Ray. How did you get Captain Ray?
I was idling through an obstacle, and there were a couple of motorcycles right by. Wayne was right behind me, and I drove by, and as he was driving by, they're like, God, that Jeep sounds like a motorboat.
We're going to start calling you Captain Ray. That thing sounds like a motorboat.
Arr, matey.
Wayne, Ray, and their Jeep Club were about to embark on a fun-filled day of rock climbing when...
These guys, they got their buggy stuck. They got run off the road by a quad, and they need a winch to get pulled out.
What, did you hear that? Come here. Come on over here. What's going on?
They're at the top of blow sand.
Looks like we've got a dune buggy that a quad ran off the side of the big blow sand hill over here, and he can't get himself out. So we're going to go get him out.
So with that, our four-wheeling posse switches gears from rocks to rescue.
You can do one of two things. We can strap it out, which involves bringing the vehicle down here. At that point, turning around, hooking up a strap, pulling him backwards. Nothing's broken, right, Scott?
No,
okay, so you'll be able to do a power assist.
If I put this thing in reverse and try to back out of here, the transmission would let go.
This is standard procedure here.
Yep, SOP.
All right. That's much better than SOL.
Yes.
All right.
And we're using an SOB.
So the buggy doesn't have any reverse at all?
He's got an extremely weak reverse gear, so he doesn't want to risk damaging the reverse. Basically the same reason we're back down to pull him out is your reverse gear is always going to be your weakest gear in any vehicle.
Yeah, back wheels. And they're out. And they're out and cruising up the hill. And holding firm to the true character of all four-wheelers, these guys gladly gave up part of their day to help a fellow off-roader. Go little prostitute. Wayne, how come your Jeep can't make that noise?
It does. I can do that too. You want to see?
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride, Dave.
You know, did I tell you how much everybody says nice things about you, Wayne?
Uh-huh. See this grab handle?
Yeah.
I'd use it.
Hey, what's up, my block? What are you nuts? Look at Holy.
Bye, Dave.
Wow. No wonder nobody likes him. Next up on the rocks, we'll see something you can really lean into. Okay, Rick, if I let go of this, is it going over? And later, we'll check out the off-road Super Bowl.
How come I can't walk straight?
Coming up on the rocks.
Snoopy, how's it feel in there?
Actually, I feel like I'm going to fall out.
A little tilty?
I'm right up against the door.
Okay, Rick, if I let go of this, is he going over?
No, he's not going over.
All right, okay.
You know, this is a kind of a situation you could run into when you travel down a road and the road gets washed out on one side and you've got to straddle it because there's no way to go around a washout.
Okay, now you Jeepers got terms for everything. What do you call this?
This is called a side hilling.
I knew it.
You know, and I like to use a Hummer as an example of percentages. You know, a Hummer, which is real wide, can travel on a side hill. It can take a 40% slope, which is 22 degrees. And an example is you see on the highway, you'll see a downhill section and it'll say 8% grade ahead.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, well, imagine being a 40% grade and driving sideways across it.
Okay, what are we at here approximately, you think?
You know, I knew you might ask me that.
Yeah.
And I was going to measure it so I could be a little more precise.
Okay.
But I would
What's
say
your
on a
guess?
percentage-wise, this isn't any more than 15%, 20.
Oh, really? How much more will this vehicle go?
This vehicle will go pretty easily to the same as a Hummer will, so I know it'll go 40%, but there's one caveat here.
Yeah.
That you don't get any bounce. Because a bounce, when you do a side hill, a bounce will tilt the center of gravity to the other side, and when that happens, it goes over. Usually I say that on side hills I have a policy, don't do it. But sometimes the trail leads across the side hill and you don't have a choice. You're going to follow the trail. There's a side hill. And for most people that are new to four-wheeling, the side hilling is the scariest part of four-wheeling. But I think where you figure out that you're pretty much on a side hill is when you slide to one side of the seat. And right now, are you on one side of that seat?
I'm right up against the door.
Yeah, so he's up against the door. So at this point, you start paying attention to what you're doing. You know, you might have been just cruising along the trail, but when you slide to one side of the seat, you better be watching what you're doing.
That's a good sign. Even I know that.
I hope this helps you out the next time you're faced with an off-camber or side hill situation.
Next up, we'll answer the question, do wild bears inhabit Ocotillo Wells? You've heard of the story of man versus nature? Well, today you're going to see man versus rock. Well, actually, you're going to see man, woman, and machine versus rock. We're here at Ocotillo Wells for recreational vehicles, and we're here with a couple of members of the Dirty 30. Come on over. Wayne, who are we here with today?
Well, we've got another one of the Dirty 30, as we all know, Captain Ray Grant. This group here, motley as they may look, is one of the best group of Jeepers in the country. This is the Tierra del Sol Four-Wheel Drive Club. They're the ones known for putting on the Tierra del Sol Desert Safari once a year, the second largest off-road vehicle event in the country.
Well, I've got one question for the group. Are you ready to go on the rocks?
Yeah!
And with that, our ragtag group of four-wheelers hit the trail. But before they reached the rocks, Wayne and Ray had a little surprise in store.
We've run across a little thing here that we like to play with every now and then. You've heard of the motorcycle ball of death. Well, this is the off-road equivalent. This is the bowl of death.
So we're here in the Dust Bowl of Death. To give you an example of the steepness of the wall we're talking about here, I'm 6'7", and I can't even look over outside the side of this berm. It's probably about a 60 to 65 degree angle and approximately 8 feet tall. So when we get some Jeeps going in here, you can get going about 20-30 miles an hour and stay right up along the side.
How come I can't walk straight? I can't walk a straight line anymore. Whoa. That was fun. I loved it.
That's enough clowning around. Let's go see if we can find some more rocks to climb on.
Okay.
So our topsy-turvy group of four-wheelers stumble their way over to the rocky and somewhat challenging Safari Trail. Okay, so we're about to embark on the Safari Trail, and we happen to have the Safari Trail boss with us here today, Ron. Ron, so what are we about to see?
This is a trail that we're setting up for our safari, which is the first weekend in March, and we'll have probably 12 to 1,500 vehicles going through this trail. So we're out pre-running to make sure that we know what we're doing on the trail and we know where it's going, and we set it all up. We run our GPS coordinates, we get them approved by the state park, and that'll be our Safari Trail.
Okay, so Ron, is there an official trail boss call to start the brigade?
Hit them up, move them out.
Captain Ray leads the charge up the hill, stopping briefly to rearrange a few rocks, and Wayne's in hot pursuit. All right, here he comes. Here comes the trail boss and his daughter.
This is my daughter, Sarah. Sarah's been Jeeping with me since she was in diapers.
And sure enough, go back on it again. And Ron's up! All right, Ron, what happened there?
Oh, it just got high-centered a little bit and backed off it and took a second approach.
Now, is it true, though? One of the other guys got stuck very similar to the way you did. And he said, now the guys behind me are going to have a harder time. Is that part of the game?
Yeah, the rocks move. Your tires just spin the rocks out and move the next person, so the next approach is always different than the person in front of you. So,
Sarah, do you think that for Christmas, maybe next year, you might like a Jeep? Would you like to ask your dad?
I would never turn down a Jeep. So.
We'll put that on the want list.
With Ron blazing ahead, George, who is still feeling a little loopy from the Bowl of Death, works his stock vehicle up the trail. Okay, now this one always intrigues me. This Jeep was driven off the lot and onto the rocks. And he pops up over the top. Well, you know, you make it look easy. Now, are these new Jeeps are better than the old Jeeps? Is that?
Well, this is pretty much stock. It's only got a spacer lift. It's the least modified vehicle out here right now.
So what's that mean? Are you a better driver than everybody else?
I would never say that. Nah, it's just a good vehicle, and the computer actually helps out sometimes, a little.
Well, it's a computer good.
Yeah. Just the engine management keeps you from overpowering when it gets a little bumpy.
Now, what's this right here? Is the floor, the step board, the floor, what's that called?
That's just a step. Something made out of plastic I'm hoping to rip off.
Did he say hope to rip off? Now, why would you want to do that? Now, didn't the trail boss just get done telling? Oh my golly! Jeez. Do you think that was the computer or the driver? So Andy, you're spotting for this guy.
I'm attempting to spot, yes.
$30,000 Jeep, he drove off the lot, and he just comes and bangs it on the rocks.
Yep, that's what we do. It's fun.
So you just helped that guy come up the hill, and you seemed undaunted that he banged his Jeep up on these rocks. Where's your Jeep again?
Broken at home.
With all the drivers safely through the rocky section of the trail, everyone stops to inspect a little damage to one of the vehicles.
Plastic is made to be replaced.
Okay, so what happens? Because, you know, Amanda was telling me that the good drivers, they know exactly that the Jeep is an extension of their body. So did you intentionally break that?
Oh, yes. I've been wanting to replace those for a year. The wife says no, not until they're broken.
I see. See, I'm wondering, so why don't you just take the whole thing off now?
Because I want to show her the damage.
That's not enough.
Oh, it'll break. I know. Here, it'll break.
8-11.
This is... Let's take a look at this again in slow motion. Notice the full vertical extension George demonstrates in order to execute this precision maneuver. Honey, you're not going to believe what happened. A bear ate the side of his Jeep.
That's exactly it. I'm glad I hope she doesn't watch this show.
Okay, so now what are you going to replace that with? Another plastic one? Or?
Oh, no. Some good, solid steel.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like the bumpers. Going out Jeeping is a huge deal to me. It's my hobby. That's what I use to blow off steam. Well, I'm not too upset about the damage. It's plastic. That's what it's made for. But that just gives me an excuse to go buy the new metal rocker guards. It cost me around $500. This is what I love. Damage happens.
Coming up, for all you hobos watching at home, it's like an outdoor Happy Meal, only happier. Stay put, because Cookie's got a stew for you.
You're watching On the Rocks TV right here on the Outdoor Channel.
Cookie, this is unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. What is it?
Dave, this is called On the Rocks Hobo Stew.
All right, and which parts of the hobo do you use?
Well, we don't use really any parts of the hobo. What we do use, though, I like this. We start with some tin foil, throw a little dab of butter on there.
Butter's always good. What goes better with butter than onions?
Throw on some onions just to keep everything from burning.
Okay.
Top the onions with some potatoes.
Not too much. I'm not a big potato. This is for me?
All for you, Dave.
That's what I'm talking about.
Put on top of the potatoes, nice hunk of ground beef. And, you know, we mix into the ground beef, we mix in some onion soup mix, so it just has some really nice flavor.
All right, and this is all raw at this juncture?
It's all raw.
Okay.
It's all raw because we're cooking it, we're grilling it up. Top your meat with any vegetable that you like. I'm gonna use some carrots, some bell peppers, some celery. And you know, you can also put sauces on this, Dave. You can put some A1 sauce, you can put barbecue sauce.
Sweet and sour?
Sweet and sour sauce, any type of sauce, Worcestershire sauce.
Thousand Island?
Thousand Island. A little salt, a little pepper. Yeah,
some insane sauce?
Some insane sauce would really bring the heat. Then you just fold it up. Got to lock in those juices.
Ooh.
Keep it extra juicy.
Or saucy. Everyone likes a saucy hobo stew.
You know, Dave, the hobo stew is kind of a standard camping tradition. And, you know, I had my first hobo stew when I was a Boy Scout.
Is that true?
Absolutely. You can put them on the campfire, you can put them into the barbecue on top of the grill like this, and 15, 20 minutes later, you have an unbelievably delicious, little hot. If you're first cooking hobo stews, you might burn a couple if you're not paying too close attention.
Now, when I think of stew, I eat that with a spoon.
So good. Well, this is more for camping, and so we've got We've got
some vegetables and some
Look
meat.
at that, it's just wonderful.
And I'm not holding high
That's
hopes
just-
for this, honestly.
No, it's so good.
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, it's falling apart. Oh my gosh. That was so good.
You know what?
What?
The meat tastes like the vegetables.
Well, and the vegetables have a little bit of the meat flavor, and it's just so good. Dave, this is On the Rocks, hobo stew, cooked out in the middle of the beautiful wilderness. That's what I'm talking about, going jeeping, going off-roading, wheeling. This is what it's all about.
It's like an outdoor Happy Meal, only happier.
Hobo stew, On the Rocks.
For these folks, half the fun of four-wheeling is talking about four-wheeling. And if there's one thing four-wheelers are good at, it's talking.
The highlight of my day was bringing my dad with me. This is the first time he's ever been off-roading with me.
Every time we go jeeping is a great time for me because I get to spend quality time with Dad. But it's always a great memory with Dad, whether, you know, he scares the crap out of me going up a hill or we're just talking in the car. It's always kind of nice.
I do enjoy the camaraderie and the companionship of all the members of the club. But I think one of the things was the recovery. We did a recovery today for a gentleman that was stuck out there, and we were able to help, and I think that's all a good thing.
Yeah, it was a real good day. This area is real good, but we had a real good time, and we'll be back out here doing it again, just like usual.
My most memorable moment was watching my son lead the trail today.
And not break.
And not break. And watching you pull the guy out, strap the guy out, because, you know, some people thought you couldn't do it, but I knew you could.
Hi, my name's George. I wrestled this back from that bear. He was a mean, tattooed panda bear. Unfortunately, he ripped it off the Jeep, but I got it back from him. Honey, I swear it was a bear.